Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we have my Fluffal deck profile. Before we begin, don't forget to consider liking and subscribing, and comment down below any questions, comments, or recommendations for this deck profile. So, let's begin. So we play 3 Fluffal Penguin. I am playing a going first variant where I just want to combo off and combo hard. This is probably the best card in doing it, because it has the non-once per turn special summon, which is really nice. So it's an absolute 3 of that, for sure. The next card, this is the one card that's not normally standardly played at 2, but it's honestly probably my favorite card in the deck because it gets you a lot of recursion, and it sets up your draw 3 combo basically by itself. So it's really nice. For the next 2, we play 2 Fluffal Dog. It's just a Stratos. I would rather search other things since it is a hard once per turn, so I only have the 2, and I think Penguin is a better normal summon in most cases. For another 2, we play 2 Bear. It's a hard once per turn for both of its effects, so it makes no sense to play 3, and it just gets you Toy Vendor, so it is really good. Now we have 3 1-0s for Fluffals. We have Wings. This card is cracked. It's a draw 2, and then you send your Toy Vendor to get another search. Really good card. Octopus. This card is incredible, just because you can recycle a bunch of things. When you go into your end board, you normally end with Cross Sheep, and when you fusion on your opponent's turn, you can summon this back and then add back your Penguin after getting the Penguin draw 2, discard 1. So a lot of times this card is absolutely crazy. Fluffal Sheep, this card is also just incredible. There's a new combo I'm going to start working on with this card in the near future. So if you want to see that, try and get some likes on this video. So yeah, that's it for the Fluffal monsters. There's nothing I really would change. Maybe a 3rd Bear, but I think this ratio is fine. For the Edge-Imps, it's really standard. You got your 3 chain, really cracked card, 2 Scythe, and then the 1 Sabers. I wish the Edge-Imp half the deck can get you into the Fluffal half, and then the Fluffal half could get you into the Edge-Imp half. Unfortunately, we can't at the moment, but once we do have support that allows us to do that, this deck will be incredible. And then for the more like non-engine monsters, we play 2 the Shufflers. You can also play the Millers in this deck, but I only play these 2 for this build, just because they are extenders, and then also really good to discard off of Toy Vendor. And also if you draw it and discard it, it's an interruption. They're Earth Fairies. All the Fluffals, or a lot of the Fluffals are Earth Fairies, so you get the extra effect of being able to special summon these. And then with how Toy Vendor works, if you were to send or draw into this and then discard it, you would get the mill. And since if you mill off these, you can potentially send the Toy Vendor. Also, it's nice so you can get deck knowledge of what your opponent is playing, and there's a lot of counterplay with it. But for now, I'm not really playing those. I think there is definitely some interesting lines you can do with those, though. I think probably the most crazy card in this deck is Eldritch the Golden Lord. Going Toy Vendor, pitch this, and then send Toy Vendor to search is just absolutely gnarly. I love that card. That's it for the monsters in the main deck. Like I said, I think maybe the only thing I would change is potentially adding in these 2. But yeah. For the spells, we got the best card in the deck. We have Toy Vendor. You're using this 3, 4, maybe even 5 times in a turn. It's absolutely incredible. I love this card. For the next card, we have 3 Patchwork. Patchwork's really good. It gets you into it's a +1. You get Poly and an Edge-Imp, and it's just really good. There are actually sometimes where you can't activate this just because you run out of things in your deck, like of targets. So that is the one thing to be wary of. So yeah. And then for more consistency, we play 3 Foolish Goods to send our Toy Vendor. It actually can also send our Frightfur Repair, which is an extender that you can send off the Cruel Whale. So that's really good. For the last Frightfur card is the Frightfur Fusion, really good. It's a Miracle Fusion, and it's searchable, so that's really nice. And then 2 poly, you don't need 3. This card kind of breaks you, and since you also have this one, that's 3 fusion spells. If you fuse off, I believe it's Dolphin, you can shuffle a polarization or fusion spell from your grave or banish into your deck. And then also if you have Bear, you can tribute it to add a poly from grave to hand, so you really don't need more. And I would rather see the monster half of everything than these spells, except for like Toy Bender, for example. And then for some non-engine, we do play 3 for Rin and Droplet. I know it's not necessarily the most opportune in this format with Cashier still running around. Hopefully it gets banned soon. But at the same time, being able to trigger Toy Vendor on your opponent's turn, just having all this excess advantage, it's so good in this deck. And then the last card is 2 Triple Tactics Talent. Yet again, it's a really good card in this format. Also with some of the cards we're playing Extract, you can just steal something. Like, you can steal like an Arise Heart, you can just go crash into something and then make Zeus. So I think Tactics is really good in this deck. It's a 40 card list. I really enjoy this one. So yeah. Now for the extra deck, this will change a lot in the near future once I add in the specific combo involving tier limits to change a lot. So I think this for right now, for the more just pure build, is what I think is the best. So for the fusions, we play the 2 Cruel. I'm surprised this didn't get a super and the Megatons. I'm upset, but it is what it is. This card is incredible. It does everything you want to do. And then people don't know the fact that the attack modulation is quick effect. So I've had it where I activate this when my opponent's attacking me, and then I kind of just destroy the monster from them battling into it. And then also when you summon it, it can pop a card on both players' field. It's non-targeting, so it's really nice. So yeah. My personal favorite of the Frightfur cards is the Kraken. Kraken is really good since it is another generic Edge-Imp plus a Fluffal monster, and also it sends something. Just these 2 alone, getting them on a field is an OTK, because this goes 26, and then this, if you use this with this makes it 33, and if it attacks twice, so that's 66 plus 26, that's well over lethal, so it's really nice. The last for the Frightfur cards in the extra deck is the 1 Frightfur Tiger. It's there for when you have that 1 push with Frightfur Fusion. You can play the other Frightfur cards. You can play Wolf instead of this one. You can play, what's the name? The Sabretooth instead of this one. Maybe instead of another card in the extra deck. But I think this is the ratio I want to stick with, and I think this is the best one. The last fusion monster in the extra deck is the 1 Guardian Chimera. This card is crazy. Like, it does so much for this deck. I love this card so much. So yeah, I highly recommend playing this card. That's it for the fusion monsters. We just play the 5. We don't need more. Potentially you can play Draco Stapelia just as another generic target, but I think I'm fine with this for now. We actually play a lot of Exceeds in this deck, so just to start that out, we have the 1 Toad and the 1 Bahamut Shark. These are incredible. Normally you go into this with Penguin plus Dolphin, because you can do the whole line with Penguin, Dolphin, set everything back up, get all 3 of your cards set at your hand, and then go and Exceeds into these, and get the Omni Negate, and then when this goes to grave, you can add back your Dolphin or your Penguin, and then if you do your Dolphin, you can get your whole line back up and going again. And if you fuse with your Octopus, you can shuffle back the wings and just have the whole setup again, so it's really nice. I played the 1 Abyss Dweller. This card actually buffs all water monsters on your field by 500 if you have a monster under it. That comes up so much. You're since you're normally ending on a way to get to that Cruel Whale, this will be at 21 or 3100 without using its own effect. So that is amazing. This goes up to 27. This is at 22. Your board just feels so much stronger with that. And then we play the 1 Baguska. It's just a 1 of, there's some times where you really can't do anything and you can just go in for the rank 4 and just stall out a few turns to draw and get into more advantage. So this card is pretty good, but I'd rather play with the other things. But there's also some scenarios where you want to go second and you can go summon this in attack mode and make it so it's a lot easier to go into Zeus. yeah, so Zeus is really, really good, especially with tactics in the main deck and just being able to steal an Xyz monster. That's it for the Xyz, also only 5 of those, and then the last 5 monsters are all Link monsters. I find it funny, you got 5 fusions, 5 Xyz, and 5 Links. So, for the Links, we play the one Cross Sheep, this is normally on your end board. We play the one IP, also normally on your end board. You can go with IP into Nightmare Unicorn. This might get replaced with SP Little Knight with the newest set coming out, but it's not out yet, so this is what you're stuck with. And then just the 2 generic Link 4s in Apollosa and Axis Code. That's it for the extra deck. I don't think there's anything I would change unless I add that specific new combo. From here, we're gonna go into the side deck. The side deck isn't necessarily perfected. I think this is what I've been liking playing with this build. Yeah, there's a lot of improvement on this one. We're gonna start with 3 Nib. I think it's a really good card. This deck you want to use as a little advantage when you're going into second and just use mass board wipes, just because this needs to get a lot of cards in your hand to be able to actually snowball the advantage, because once you get going hard. But at the same time, if you can't get going, you can't get going. So I think Nibiru is a really, really good card. One of my personal favorite hand traps this format has been DD Crow, so I'm really happy to play this in my builds for most of my decks. For the one-ofs in the side deck, we got the 1 Pank, just another good going second card. We play third Edge-Imp Scythe, just because when we know we're going second, it's just nice to be able to fuse this, or have this just to be able to have an extra hand trap. We play, for spells, we play the 1 Duster. It's Duster, again, mass board removal, and then 3 Cosmic. This deck kind of struggles with back row, especially cards with like anti-spell and other floodgates. So this is really important to play. And then the last card in the side deck is the 3 Evenly Matched cards, Cracked. So yeah, that is actually it for this deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below any questions, comments, anything you would like to see changed, any deck profiles that you want to see in the near future. So yeah, this is Wowzer7 signing off.